Hey, I'm Janet.
And I'm Brian.
And with our powers combined, we are distinctive. So we are a dual income, no kid household, and we also are crazed Disney fans.
Crazed, wow.
Yeah, as evidenced by whatever the heck is going on here.
It's just a magic band necklace.
I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we talk about Disney World and also touring Disney World as a married couple, but without
the little ones.
Yeah. So if that sounds like your particular cup of tea or other, you are in the right place. So speaking of other, we always have our magic word. And today's magic word is similar. So anytime you hear that word similar, you will see the little counter come up and tell you to take a nice long drink of your beer or whatever you may have. If you didn't know you needed to have one, now you know. Go get one. Pause and go get one.
And for those mega fans like Jason, you just have to chug one right now.
We're waiting.
We're waiting. Okay.
All right.
That's done.
So today's topic is the top 10 ways that Disney is like the Las Vegas Strip.
Ooh.
We always get told by our friends, hey, well, you're a married couple with no kids. Why on earth would you go to Disney World? Go someplace fun like Las Vegas. And while we do go to Las Vegas and enjoy Las Vegas, we actually have found that there are a lot of similarities between Disney World and Las Vegas. So by the end of this video, we hope you may agree with us, or at least you will have something to talk about in the comment section. All right.
Before we begin, we like to open up each episode with a little fun game. And today is, which is better? We'll just pick two items in a similar category and have to defend which one we like as being better.
All right.
And I'll go first. Mickey ears or Mickey sandwich, ice cream sandwich.
Ooh, Mickey ears versus Mickey sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Mickey ears. They're classic.
Okay.
The Mickey sandwich is yummy. But it doesn't have a stick, so it always gets stuck on your fingers unless you eat it out of the packet like an animal. Yeah. And it's got kind of that old school like Dairy Queen crunchy outer chocolate thing going, which I enjoy. So I'm going Mickey ear.
But we don't finish each other's ears.
We're that sickening couple that we do the combo bite.
Don't tell them that.
Okay. Which is better? A bucket of popcorn or a Mickey pretzel?
If I get kettle corn, then I'm going kettle corn. Better than pretzel because ultimately I feel like I can eat as much popcorn as I want without filling up. And I think that's a plus because I really don't care about having a bod, hashtag dad bod. I don't have no dad bod, so I don't need to worry about it. I have dad bod without being a dad. It's the best ever. It doesn't matter. People just assume I'm dad. It's okay. So yeah.
Especially at Disney.
Especially at Disney. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
So
your turn.
Let's go with Tiki Room, the Tiki Room animatronics, or the what's it called? The Jamboree? Is it with the Country Bear Jamboree animatronics? Which one do you like better?
Tiki Room, no contest.
Why?
So the clicking is the same, right? So the birds click, but so do the stuffed heads in the Country Bear Jamboree, which is actually more obnoxious because you're sitting right next to them the whole time, whereas some of the times the birds that are clicking are far away from you. So clicking is even, and I think the birds they're more classic kind of to me, and B, they're more in my vibe, and C, they're prettier.
Okay.
I particularly like the birds that come out of the ceiling and on the little carousel and they sing. The white ones.
All right.
All right, so you did some attractions, so I should do some attractions. I'm going to do Space Mountain or Mission Space?
Space Mountain, and only because the mountain comes after the space instead. No, I'm just because I love Mission Space. It's just that I feel like you got to go at a specific time during the day where your tummy's not full of food, because I feel like there's a good
Don't
chance.
eat popcorn and then go.
There's a good chance you're gonna have an upset tummy with it. It's okay, I deal with it, but ultimately, every time Space Mountain pleases, every time, it don't matter what. So Space Mountain, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and that's how you play the game. Which is better?
Which is better?
And let's move on to our main topic of the day: top 10 ways in which Disney is like the Las Vegas Strip, except for stripping. Yeah, so first one, we're going to go with the hotels, and both are highly themed. They're thematic hotels. So tell us a little bit more about that, Janet.
This is a true point, right? So if you go to the Vegas Strip, particularly the ones that are holdovers from all that building that happened in like the 90s, you've got these really highly themed hotels. You got New York, you've got Excalibur, you've got even ones that you wouldn't necessarily think of as themed hotels are highly themed, like the Mirage or the Palazzo, right, with the Venetian theme there. Caesar's Palace, right? So pretty much all the hotels on the Strip have some sort of theme, and it is in the decor. Probably the only thing that's a little more true about Disney hotels being themed than Vegas hotels is that the rooms themselves are not super themed in Vegas, whereas they are in Disney World, which I actually appreciate. You know, if you're going to do theming, carry it all the way through.
I would agree. Similar but different. Absolutely. All right. Next one.
All right. So the second is a combo, which is that there are a variety of fantastic restaurants, most of which are overpriced.
That's true.
So there's lots to nosh on, lots of places to dine, lots of places that are worth getting reservations for, lots and lots of options, and you can pretty much find anything that you might want, but you're going to pay for it. In Vegas, similarly to Disney, you can go, out into the main town and find also good food for a reasonable price, but you tend to kind of feel confined within
secluded
the space, right? So you're either on Disney property or you're on the Strip, and a lot of the time you don't have a car, so you don't want to leave, and so you just pay a little bit of a premium for that value, or for that convenience of not leaving the theme.
Absolutely would agree with that. There are lots of great restaurant options in both locations, and it kind of are trying to attract similar clientele, I feel like. So I think that's a great one.
I think Disney recently, particularly with Disney Springs, has really kind of tried to start attracting people who are interested in quality food. It is definitely not just hamburgers and hot dogs, certainly not on property altogether, and even now, even less so in the park also.
They should have just called it Disney Strip when they renamed it, and then it would have been perfect for our video.
I don't think that's the clientele they're going for.
Okay, but kind of going into, they got you as a captive audience and restaurants. One of the things is similar. You don't really need to drive around anywhere in either. There's really no need of a rental car visiting Las Vegas Strip or Disney World for that matter. And so it's kind of like you're in your own little private world that you just, are dreaming in. And so it's really easy to get around. So I think that's one of the things is just got you as a captive audience. You're there and you're either enjoying it or you're hating your life. One of the two. But
and all the parking lots are really far away. So if you have a car, it's actually almost worse than just not having one.
And the worst feeling in the world is not having money in either Disney World or Las Vegas. It's pretty depressing. So
I think it's more depressing in Las Vegas. In Disney World, you at least have probably prepaid your ticket. You can still do some stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, moving right on.
All right, so are we on number 5?
What? I mean, no, we're not.
Yes, I think we are.
What do you mean?
So related to the no driving is that there's lots of walking.
It's number 4.
So if you are walking around in Disney World, you can anticipate something like 10 to 12 miles per day, or at least that's what my Fitbit says. And we are not doing the let's get from the one to the other all day longers. We take breaks, we chill out, we mosey, and we'll get in a solid. We'll get in a solid 10 miles pretty easily. And if you go to Vegas, all of that walking up and down the strip will get you about the same. So there is,
You'll do
on the one
walking.
hand, no reason to have a car, but on the other hand, you're on foot quite a lot. And the touring around is pretty much, you need to be a pedestrian if you're getting around either the Disney parks or Las Vegas Strip.
All right, quick quiz, doctor. Convert 10 miles into meters.
I don't want to.
Oh,
Drink instead.
Drink instead. All right, let's move right along.
This is my evening hobby. I only do math during working hours.
Numero cinco. You can easily chill by the pool at both locations. Both of them have very themed pool areas as well, but there's lots of activities around the pool for these resorts, and they really focus on the amenities directly around, whether there's cool lounges at some of the big pools like Art of Animation, that the bar that they have right there. What do they call it? The drop off? Yeah, called drop off. That's a great bar.
The Big Blue Pool, okay, fun fact.
Oh.
The Big Blue Pool actually has underwater speakers, so you can hear the soundtrack and waves of the ocean and things when you're underwater in the pool. It's pretty cool. So if you are ever at that pool, definitely dunk your head and check it out.
You can also dunk your head under any Las Vegas pool, and you'll still hear the EDM music pumping constantly. So you can kind of do that either way.
It's not nearly as enjoyable and relaxing, if you ask me. Though.
It's not this big blue world. It's okay.
It's not the big blue world.
No, but yeah, so the pools are very well themed, and I think that you can spend a whole day there.
Both a Las Vegas Strip hotel and a Disney World Resort hotel put a lot of effort into making it a totally reasonable thing to chill out by the pool for, half a day. Or longer, a whole day. And they make it easy for you, they make it convenient, they make it enjoyable, right? So I've been to pools before where after a couple of hours you're like, all right, and I finished my book and there's nothing left to do here. And that is not the case in either Disney World or Las Vegas.
Yes.
They're very similar.
Most people don't use the pools at the resorts, but you should. You definitely should, but you have to have time for it. So bake in some time to relax by the pool. Absolutely.
Way to save money too.
Save money. I love doing that. Next one, number 6. Why don't you take that?
Which one is number 6? Number 6, one of my favorites on the list, which is you have a huge variety of merchandise.
Merch.
So shopping is an activity that you can spend some quality time and money on in both the Disney World property as well as Las Vegas. Las Vegas merchandise tends to be a little pricier, but Disney World can add up as well. And also related to this is the idea that they basically put their name on everything, right? So if you go to Disney, you want to get yourself a Disney World t-shirt, Disney World keychain, Disney World coffee mug, Disney World beer mug.
Whatever.
Yeah, all of the above. Disney World oven mitt. I have a Figment oven mitt.
Poker chips.
See,
they're doing that already.
Yeah, you can get all that. You want to go to Las Vegas? Get yourself a coffee mug, get yourself a beer mug, get yourself a shot glass, get yourself an oven mitt with the Las Vegas logo on it. You can do that too. They have got their merchandise down. So I'm not big on getting the logo merchandise, but I like the kind of more subtle nods to things. So I'm always a fan of, coasters, which just look like regular coasters, and you look at them and go, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse pattern. So I enjoy the Disney merch for that. I enjoy Las Vegas merch because it's all sparkly.
Yeah.
Sparkly. Now it seems like Disney is all sparkly also.
Yeah, absolutely. The only difference between Disney shops and Las Vegas shops is Las Vegas shops are like empty in terms of their merchandise, and Disney shops are full of shit all over the place. So it's like there's an inverse correlation on price for Las Vegas shops, and there's the reverse at Disney shop. Whatever. Moving right along. Going to number 7. There are shows all the time, everywhere in Vegas. Doesn't matter. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Doesn't matter. You go to Fountain Show. You go to Fire Show. You go to, the horrors. The Siren Show at Treasure
brutal.
Island. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not kid friendly at all. But yeah, there's shows all time in Vegas, and I feel the same at Disney World. Yeah, there's a 3 o'clock show, 4 o'clock show. There's a parade. There's fireworks. There's fireworks at the Epcot. You can go to fireworks at Magic Kingdom. There's shows all the time.
Yeah.
Shows.
Now, the difference between Las Vegas and Disney World, though, on the shows, is that the Disney World shows are included with your purchase price, whereas Las Vegas shows are $100 a ticket extra.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is. Well, I mean, there's lots of free shows there.
Yeah.
Don't try.
Right, fair enough.
All right, number 8, take it away.
All right. So this is perhaps the oddest one on the list, but a true one nonetheless. Way that Disney World is similar to the Las Vegas Strip, you're bound to come upon a piano bar at some point.
At some point.
You
Absolutely.
will walk past a piano bar. It's guaranteed. It's inevitable. If you spend enough time in either location, you will either end up near or in a piano bar. It's a force of the universe.
I think there's only 2 at Disney World, but that's okay.
Right, but you'll end up next to one,
you will.
whether you want to or not.
It doesn't matter. You will. But yeah, that goes along with number 9, kind of in terms of walking around. You have only approved walking routes. And if you don't take the approved walking routes, you're walking a mile out of your way to get someplace. So when you get on the bus and they drop you off at the location, you're going to walk to the specific paths that they have. When you're trying to get on the tram, there's a walkway to get on the tram. If you don't do that, you're walking a long way. Same as Vegas. If you try and avoid those little crossovers and no, you can't cross the street here. You got to go up, across, down, left, right. It's the same thing. So approved walkways.
Interestingly, apparently, what I gather from this, my conclusion, you can tell me if you agree with my conclusion.
All right.
My conclusion is that apparently small people,
okay, yes,
i.e. children, and drunk adults are the same.
Pretty much.
So we can't let kids just cross the street anywhere. They might hurt themselves. They might run out if there's not a fence there and their parents wouldn't see, and they'll get hit by the tram, and that would be terrible. Therefore, there's approved walking routes everywhere. Similarly, we can't let that drunk 20-something woman walk through the parking deck. She could trip on her 4-inch heels and hit her head and die, and that would be terrible. So I have this feeling that drunken adults and small children are basically the same thing. Maybe that's why we love Disney World.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much, I think you're on the nose. That was so stupid. And finally, number 10. What is it? Go for it. Take it away.
That both of them are the land of make-believe. So if you want to be immersed in excellent theming for slightly overpriced prices, and imagine that your life is not your life, but is instead ancient Rome or the Venice or Peter Pan's ship, you can do that.
If you want to pretend you're in Italy, I got a place for you. It's called Italy at World Showcase. You want to pretend you're in Italy?
Pavilion.
You want to pretend you're in Italy? I got a place for you. It's called the Venetian and the Palazzo in Las Vegas. All right? I mean, you get where I'm going. You want to pretend you're in China? Just go to the Wynn.
Wow.
I mean, let's be honest.
Excellent dining at the Wynn.
Excellent dining, absolutely. Maybe that's another video.
All right.
But yes, it's definitely the land of make-believe. You just pretend. You pretend you're somewhere that you're not really, and the whole world's just a lie. But you're happy about it. That's the great thing. It's just like acting.
Yeah, but Disney got to the most magical place on earth logo first. So
yes.
Vegas had to pick something else.
Absolutely. And last thing, closing out with a Vegas Disney connection. All right.
How are they similar?
Yes. They're actually working right now at Wynn Resorts to build where there used to be their golf course, an island in the middle of a lake that they're building, and in the middle of the island they're going to shoot off nightly fireworks, and they have contracted with the same company that Disney has spun up that does their fireworks at the Magic Kingdom every evening. So they're actually going to be sharing some of that Disney prowess and doing fireworks displays at Wynn Resorts. So you see the similarities are already starting to fall in place, and one day Disney is just going to own Las Vegas. That's what
it's possible that you heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
All right. So that is the top 10 ways that Disney is like the Las Vegas Strip. And we are going to, as we always do, finish with a quote from them. Oh, no, we have got a viewer question. I forgot about the viewer question. So our viewer, Gagrin42, asked, when's the best time to go to Disney World?
When's the best time?
And I love this question because it fits with our channel just perfectly. So the answer to your question is whenever the kids are in school.
Absolutely. That's definitely the best time.
So your spring break, your summer time frame. Summer's terrible because the weather and that there's kids that are out of school, right? Christmas break. All of these times are terrible times to go to Walt Disney World because it's super crowded because people don't have to take their kids out of school to bring them to Disney World. The times that are the least crowded are the inverse of that. So if you go in the first couple weeks of August, right after school has started back, that's pretty good time. If you go the right around finals time for school, so mid-May, that's a really nice time, also good weather-wise.
Okay.
So as we mentioned in one of our previous videos, there's kind of always crowds at Disney World, but to avoid the really max crowds, just do like us and have no children and don't be tied to a school schedule, and you can go at the least crowded times.
Yeah, I would say second week of January through February, and then second week of September through October, generally.
Yes.
Those are good times.
Yeah. Early fall and the very beginning of the year and the very end of the spring when kids are still in school.
So thank you, Gagarian42. We appreciate that question. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Thank you very much for that. And we'd like to close off, as we do, with a Walt Disney quote.
Walt Disney quote is, when you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do.
Aw, he's such a heartwarming kind of a guy.
He's a good guy.
I love Disney. Well, thank you. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. And as always, I'm Brian.
I'm Janet.
And we are Distinctive.